Hello everyone. Today I will show you how you can download, how you can install assystITOM standard edition, which is the first edition for assystITOM, in a single server. Now we will go to eDrive, Axios, Media, assystITOM. In the previous videos, I talk about how you can download assystITOM package from Axios CDN portal. Now, after I extracted and download all the prerequisites, I will start with the core install, then assystITOM 5.0, right-click, run as administrator. Then I will start now the installation. For sure, this is the welcome screen. Ignore it and next. We'll choose, as we said, assystITOM Professional Edition, which is the standalone. Next, now this is the default destination. We will change it to eDrive, Axios, then we'll create assystITOM folder. You are free to download it, to install it in anywhere. Then next. Now this section for configuring MySQL. As we said, in the single server, we will install the application, assystITOM, and database on the same server together. So this is the root password. You can put any password you want. Now, if you have, we'll show you in the other videos how you can install assystITOM in application server in a separate server and database in separate server, then how you can link them together. For installing them in the same server, we will leave the skip MySQL instance configuration unchecked. Then next, and this is the port, this is the default port for MySQL 3306. You can change it to anything. Then next. Now this is the installation directory and setup type professional. This is the prerequisites. assystITOM will install all of them automatically in your server. Then next. You have to wait for a while until the installation for the whole prerequisites finished. Don't try to cancel anything. Read this to 64. Alright, Now the whole prerequisite was installed, and the next step, the system asking me to create assystITOM database. This is the database server as we installing the system on the same server. So we will choose localhost on the same server. This is the default port. In the previous step we leave that as it is, 3306, and database MySQL. Now username, root, and the password that we write before this step. Then next. Now if you can see here, this is the default port 80. Now if you write 443, that doesn't mean it will enable the HTTPS. The system will, by default will install with HTTP enabled. After the installation finished, then you can enable HTTPS and import the certificate. Now once you reach this stage, just click on next, then leave it for a while. It will take some time to install the core installation. Okay. Alright. Now after we finish the installation core, then click on finish. Now return back to the installation, then we'll go to patches. Now the first one, now after we install the core, we will start with SAP, with the first patch, which is SAP_5000. Right click, run as administrator. Now the system, once you run it, the system will check. If you have this patch already installed in your system, it will give you a message that this patch already installed. Otherwise it will allow you, then you can click next. Alright, this is the installation that we have. The system will automatically detect it. And setup type, then click next. Now there's a good thing in these patches. If you return back to the installation, Axios assystITOM. This is the installation, still in progress. You can see there is a folder patches. Now for each patch that you apply, the system will create a folder with the name of the patch, and inside it, it will create the installation log. It will create a full backup from the files from the database on this location, and it will create uninstall.exe if you want to remove this patch. So if you after applying the patch, something got corrupted and you want to remove it, you can go here to the patches and you can uninstall the patch from here. Now we'll wait until it's finished. If you can see here, it's taking a backup from all the files and database. Alright, now after we finish the patch SAP 5000, then click finish. We'll return back to media. Then the second patches 5001, right click, run as administrator. Now there is two huge patches. The first one 5000 and 5001. The latest one, which is 5001-7, will be small patch that will not take time. Now next and next. Now if we return back to the installation, assystITOM, as we said, inside the folder patches. If you can see, this one is already installed, and you can see the database backup. This is the database backup for IMS, and this is the default instance name, IMS. The system will create it in MySQL, and this is a backup also for the files, console management and web management. And this is the DB request installation logs, and if you want to remove this patch, you can uninstall it from here. Second one, which is now still in progress, 5001. Alright, so we will wait until it's finished. Alright, now after we finish installing the second patch, Now we will run the last one. Next. It's straightforward. Now if you can see here, you can see a readme file with each patch. Now it will show you which database record. That's fine. Alright, now until it's finished, there is my.ini creation. This one, if you can see, run as an admin before patches, but this ini creation, it's used only if you didn't install database on the same server. If you have the database in remote server, then you will need to run this file. In our case, the application and database on the same server, so you don't need to run it. Or don't run it, because it will corrupt some configuration for the database, and the size for the database, it will be unmanaged. Alright, now let's return back here and we'll see the progress. 45001-7. You can see the icon for assystITOM. Alright, now this is the last batch. Once we finish, now the next one we'll go to install the plugins, Sapphire message queue. Before that, to make sure that the ITOM is installed, we can go to services. Let me add it to my task to access it direct. Now in the services, you will see some service related to Sapphire, Sapphire IMS, this is the main service, and Sapphire MySQL. Alright, now for Sapphire IMS message queue, as we said, this message queue, it's only needed once you want to do a discovery, agent-based. Right-click, run admin. Make sure that the service is not running at all. The Sapphire IMS MySQL is fine, keep it running. Now this install, plugins your, yes, next. Then it will auto detect the installation for assystITOM. Next. It will take some time. Just don't cancel the installation, because in the backend it's building some files and the registry file and services. Wait for a while, it takes some time. It gives you not responding, but just leave it. You can see it take more than 2 minutes. Sometimes if the antivirus is enabled on the server, so it will take more and more time, because the antivirus will start scanning each and every file that you're trying to deploy in the server. Now, the last step, that's Sapphire MS message queue trying to create a service on Windows services and make a dependency with Sapphire IMS. So whenever you try to stop or start Sapphire IMS, message queue will run. Alright, now it's finished. Now the last step, if we return back to patches, to the core station is finished, patch is finished. Now this is for Axios white label. Now we can go here, Axios, WR, right click, run as admin. Alright. Okay, so after we did that, now it's finished successfully. Then you click enter. If you return back to services, you will see Sapphire IMS and Sapphire Message Queue, Sapphire MySQL, all of these services up and running. Now to test it, we can open any browser. As if you remember, we used port 80, so we can say HTTP and local host, enter or the server name or IP address. Now it will take some time to deploy the web application. You can see the status for deployment from the installation, Axios, assystITOM, web management, standalone, then log. You can see the logs here, including sapphire.log, and you can see from the standalone, you can see deployment. You can see the Sapphire IMS.war. Once it's deployed, then the system will be ready to access it at the first time. Now for the installation, there is a default username password shipped with the system. You can access it the first time, then you can change the password, which is admin, and this is for professional enterprise. For MSP Virgin Enterprise Plus, the default username MSP admin and the password MSP admin. We'll wait. Once it's finishing deploying, then we will be able to access the system. Alright, now it's deployed, so let me try username admin, password admin. Then we log to the system. right, then we log to the system. All right. Okay. Now, by default, the system will, for professional edition, after the installation, the system will auto-discover the same server. If you can see here, just the last point, that there is a license shipped automatic with the system by default for 45 days. I think it's more than that. No, it's around 45 days. Okay, that's it. So this is the system that is installed, up and running, and ready to start the discovery and to start agent installation and other tasks for assystITOM. So that's it for this session. Now next session I'll show you how you can install standalone edition in two servers, one for application server and one for database server. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, bye.